a droplet of water on a rock, over a period of time, it's going to make a hole in the rock. You just got to be consistent. And don't worry about the algorithm, the this, the that. There's always going to be something that's going to make it trendy. Of course, follow the trends, do whatever you can, but stop chasing the wrong stuff. The reason to post on social media is to be disciplined to post. And because you're disciplined to post, a lot of the positives kick in. But a lot of people post for the followers. Oh, I wish all my followers see this. I don't give a crap. I'm posting every day. If you don't like my content, hop off. You love my content, hop on. It's okay, right? And that's the mentality. By default, you will find a lot of haters and you'll find a lot of lovers.
There he is. Welcome to
What's
the Solar
going on?
Podcast, bro. Michael Barayev in the house.
What's up? I like this new thing. This Riverside. Okay.
You
Better
know what I
than
mean?
Zoom and Google Schmeet. I love it.
I personally like StreamYard, but this is Josh's thing, so we roll with it. But it's definitely better than Zoom.
StreamYard's good for streaming. Riverside, this is podcast tech specifically. It's great. You don't have to upload stuff. It's all automatic.
Let me ask you a question. Isn't Riverside, doesn't it own Anchor or something? Anchor?
Does it?
Anchor FM? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's like when you put all your podcasts and stuff in it. Is that what it's called?
It might be. If you're in the podcast space, I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh, they changed it.
Bro,
No, they didn't change it. What is it? Now it's called Podcasters? Oh, they changed the name. Yeah, it's called Podcasters now. They just changed the name. It used to be called Anchor. And Riverside was, I think the company owned it was Riverside. Anyway.
Well, I don't know if everybody knows who this is, but Michael Barayev, I've known for years. And I remember at the first SolarCon, he was like in the first seat in front, like jumping up in the air, so much energy, so much enthusiasm, like trying to soak up everything. And I've been following him for the last 3 years since, and he's been freaking growing on social media and Instagram, and his following and his speaking and his training and his video and his content just keeps getting better and better and better. I was like, yo, we have to get this guy on the podcast because he's doing some big things, man.
I appreciate that. Mike. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. God bless you guys. What you guys are doing, SolarCon, is incredible. It's not easy. It's definitely a lot of work. So I commend you guys because running an event is not easy. If people don't know that, but it's a lot of work that you guys are doing. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Actually, Mike is going to be on a panel at SolarCon speaking about his prowess on social media. But it's not going to be just a social media panel. It's going to be actually teaching tips and tricks, actual things in the background, how social media works, the video camera, the actual social media graphics and the editing and all the stuff, not just being in front of the camera is social media, right?
100%. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people think that social media is just, they think like TikTok and Instagram, Facebooks, YouTubes, and there's so many apps. You have every single month there's a new app coming out. And what I learned is that you just got to go out there, take the phone and stop thinking about editors and cameras, all this bullshit. Take your phone out and just start talking to it and just record your information. It may not be amazing. As a matter of fact, my first video I ever did, which was, like almost 9 years ago, it was garbage. Right? I was doing a Facebook Live and I was talking to like 20 people, right? It doesn't matter, but I just went out there and started talking, and just by doing, you just become better and better and better. Because a lot of people think that you're gonna become a master speaker, you're gonna have the perfect video. People record a video and they watch themselves 50 times. I literally record a video, I have no idea. Like, you guys see the videos before I see my videos. I don't look at the videos. My team does all of that. I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, that's a good video. Holy shit. That's how I got used to it, because you don't have to be thinking about making action. You just gotta do, and everything will fall into place. So a lot of people be thinking about social media, be thinking about creating content, they be thinking about adding value. But one thing that I learned is just you gotta speak from the heart. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fumble. It's okay to just go out there and just do what you need to get done. And by default, you will figure out what your audience likes. And if you have no one watching, it's okay. You start off with one follower. My mama was my first follower. I love her to death. But it's okay. Mama, then cousins, then friends, then people you don't know. And that's how you start growing yourself. At the end of the day, you have to put yourself out there, especially in this market. There's so much noise going out there. So much noise. And if nobody knows your name, they're not going to flow through you and do business with you. So if they don't know you, they ain't going to do business with you. So it's very important to go out there and put yourself out there in a positive light.
Have you met Josh?
On a macro level, like that's the same for everything, right? Like cold calling, door knocking, the first business that you do, the first step, whatever. Everyone's always planning the fucking shit out of it before actually doing it. like content creation, because it's so new, I guess people don't realize that that is the equivalent in that media of communication. But like I'm really pushing my guys. Hey, cold callers, running ads, sure, but you should also be making content and expect to not get anything for the first 6 months or more. Just post. And then I see them, they post maybe once a week, twice a week. What a good, like you said, grab your phone and start talking to it. Don't even look at the video. Just get it out there. And the most important thing is the habit. Because the first few videos that you film, if you're making content, you're going to super overanalyze it. The 1,000th piece of content that you make, you won't give a shit. It's just on autopilot, and you're so good at it at that point that you don't even need to look at it or review it.
100%.
So it's the same thing. The first door you knock, the first call you make, it's always like, okay, I'm just going to get my script down. I'm just going to spend another 2 or 3 days perfecting my script or listening to call reviews. Like, shut up, pick up the phone and start dialing. Shut up and knock the door, man. That's
and
where you're actually.
And the beautiful thing about actually creating content and you suck at it, it's actually perfect because in this economy, right, normal content doesn't blow up. It's the polarized content. It's the shit or the amazing stuff. And a lot of times to become amazing, you have to practice many, many years. But it's the shit that blows up. Like if you ever see some of the interviews in the street people do, it's the crazy ones. I had a video that blew up, did like almost 57 million views because I asked the guy, what do you do for work? He's like, nothing. I'm like, what do you mean nothing? How do you live? He's like, daddy's money. Right? And that blew up because everyone's like, daddy's money, and it just hooks you in. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And I didn't really think that video was going to blow up. As a matter of fact, the videos you think that are going to do amazing flop. It's the videos like, I don't want to post that one. It's the ones that blow up. You just don't know, right? So I just think people got to go out there, be consistent because it's very easy to create content with your phone. One day you get excited, you put the lights on, you got the freaking camera, your mama's holding a flag and waving for you and saying, oh my God, my son is making a video. But it's not easy to do it when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're exhausted from a flight, when you don't want to do it. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I did not want to do this podcast. I just didn't want to do it. I was like, I want to go to the gym right now. Screw this podcast. But I made a commitment. I said I would have to add value to someone. There may be one sucker watching this video that will change his life by him hearing our conversation. So that's why I do what I do, because it's that one person that watches that video. I remember 2019, I went to California. I was knocking on doors for Brinks at the time, and I went to California, and some guy drove 3 hours just to see me, to give me a hug, because he's like, Michael, I watched one of your videos, and I did not commit suicide.
Wow.
He came and drove 3 hours down and gave me a massive hug. Can you imagine how I felt that day? How would you feel if someone told that to you, Joe?
Hell yeah. I love that.
I felt so empowering. I wasn't big at all on social media. I had like maybe a couple thousand people, but to me, I was like, wow, I should never stop because you never know who's watching. There's people that are watching you that you have no idea. You're inspiring people. You're motivating people. You have no idea. They may not say it to you, but they're watching you. And you have no idea the power you have on other people. So with social media, it's not about you. It's about other people. So stop being selfish and start being selfless and put your shit out there is my opinion.
And back on the shit content doing the best, I think that's because the market right now really wants transparency and they just want to see real people. And so if you get this overproduced, well-produced content can still do good for sure, but like TikTok is an amazing example of this right now. Someone's just in their fucking pajamas on their couch, but they say something cool and they have a cool take, but they look like shit. That goes viral because it's like, oh, this is a real person. And I think I think people are starting to catch on, but businesses can take advantage of that as well by just posting transparent, not overly produced content.
100%.
Just get out there. And if they have a good
100%.
product, people will figure it out. And the product and the value itself overwhelms the lack of production.
You ever see those bullshit ads that companies put, like with the noise and the fake actors and stuff? Nobody cares about that. There's a lady that went viral on TikTok. She has millions of followers, literally in a matter of a month or two. All she did was create a series on TikTok about how she married and divorced a psychotic narcissist or whatever it was. She made a 59 series video. I don't know if you've seen that. And she literally had one video after another, 10, 15 minutes long, and everyone was watching it. Millions of views on every single video. And it was just her with a phone talking about her life. You know, there's no ads, there's no craziness. And a lot of those normal videos that you kind of take with your phone are the ones that usually do well for ads anyway. It's not the ones that have all this, lights and action, all the camera stuff. It's you don't want to connect with other people. Like you're trying to connect with another human being. You're just using the phone as the tool to connect. So you're 100% correct.
Do you know the Duolingo TikTok channel? Have you followed Duolingo?
No,
dude, you have to fucking follow this channel. Duolingo is the language learning app, right? So it just basically, if you want to learn Spanish, it puts you through courses. Bro, go on TikTok right now. Duo, D-U-O, Lingo.
10.7 million followers for a stupid app.
Watch their videos, and you'll understand why. They do. There's not ads. It's literally they have a mascot of a big green bird, and it's wearing red thongs and twerking. It's a language learning app.
That's great, but that's what they're doing.
Dude.
They're creating content with that. They're connecting with the people. Nobody cares about all these businesses. They care about connecting, having a good time, being entertained, being educated, and that's what Duolingo did. 10.7 million for a business is insane.
A language learning app.
A language app, yeah.
But they follow the trends. There's nothing overproduced. It's obviously just a social media taking pictures of this stupid fucking guy dressed in a bird twerking like around their office and doing rant. But it's entertaining as hell. It follows trends. And so when a TikTok user who's in getting hit with those videos, they one day are like, oh, I want to go to Mexico for a few weeks. I want to pick up some Spanish. What app are they going to think of? They're going to think of the app that made that impact and entertained them and made them fucking cry laughing looking at their stupid videos, right?
And that's the mindset of social media. I mean, to be honest with you, the reason why I post twice a day on every single platform, right? And it's not me, it's my team, because I don't have the time to sit there and do all that. And if you have the money to do so, in the beginning I didn't have the money, right? So I had to sit there and I got sick and tired of posting the tags and this and that. But when you start making some money, it's better to hire someone. Let them fucking do it. Give opportunities to other people and just post. Just post content. And one thing that I learned is that you have to be consistent. You cannot miss a day. I have not missed a day of posting content, and I don't know how long. I've been posting for over a couple of years. Every single day, there's pieces of content every single day. I just changed my YouTube thing because on YouTube I was posting 3 times a week. I told my team, we got to do 6 times a week. We got to post once a day. I don't give a shit. Let's start posting frequency. Frequency will beat anybody because the guy who puts in 6 times the work ethic versus the guy who puts in 2 times, who's going to win? It's the guy who puts in the effort 6 times a week. So that's the mindset I have. You got to be consistent. You cannot create a video one day and then the next day you're tired, you're hungry, you're unmotivated. It doesn't fucking matter. The algorithm don't give a shit if you're happy. They don't give a shit if you're excited. It cares about, I want to be fed. You feed me, I will feed you. That's the mindset. So everyone's got to go out there. And right now, take your phone, record, say, yo, what's up? Put on a story. Like if you go to my stories are entertaining. Me shooting guns, me going to training, me living my life, right? And by the way, another cool thing that I think is going to blow up like crazy, and I'm thinking of trying to do that. Have you ever heard of the Kick app? The Kick? K-I-C-K? Yeah. The streaming? So I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just stream my life. Like, why not just stream your life? Because there's a lot of people that would be interested in just watching what the hell you do as a business owner.
Reality show, baby.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I downloaded the app yesterday. I logged in. I got to figure out how to use it. But I'm thinking of doing it, just streaming. Because there's a lot of people that watch streamers. A lot. Thousands of people a day just watch people play video games and do all kinds of shit. But imagine doing it for business. Imagine them watching you do your training, your business, your workouts, whatever it may be. So I don't know. I think the social media thing has helped so many people and made a lot of unknown people into superstars. And if you're sitting out there knocking on doors or banging on phone calls and you're not using social media, you're insane. Your customers will see you. I've had customers say, oh, I've seen you on social media. I'm like, yes, trust factor build, baby.
Yeah. I think live streaming for businesses is definitely going to come into play. For sales, it's pretty damn easy. You know, you're streaming yourself cold calling or do call reviews or working throughout your day, especially if you're working remotely. But I mean, live streaming your life, like Twitch, that's what Twitch is built off of, right? The whole platform, Twitch. And it's just people live streaming gaming or their life. And the whole platform was built by this guy called Justin. It used to be called Justin TV. And his thing was he had a GoPro or whatever, and he would just stream himself walking around the city throughout the day, just streaming in his life. And people just get enthralled with that. I think it's because this is this form of escapism where they want to attach to you and see other people living because their life isn't as good. So it's even a better opportunity to motivate people to get out of that escapism by watching you and say, well, I want to do something. I want to do something cooler with my life. So I think streaming is very interesting. In Asia, it's insane. I'm sure you've seen those videos of people just lining up. Oh yeah, dude. Live streaming, shopping is now done primarily from live streaming. Everything is live streamed especially in China.
So interesting.
Wild. Yeah.
How come Americans haven't caught on to that yet?
We're always behind. We're always behind with that stuff. Asia always hits up on the tech and the culture stuff before us. We don't like to think about that, but it's fucking true. They're always doing stuff.
I think so.
Yeah.
But you know what it does? It gives us a chance to kind of see the future a little bit, because if they're doing it and it's working, people shopping on streams, it's like watching TV. I don't know if you remember back in the day in the 80s and 90s, infomercials at nighttime are selling you crap. And you're like, oh my God, I need that. But wait, there's more, 2 more, 5 more, free shipping. Like shit, $200 later, I just bought like 7 pots for no reason, you know? But that's the future. I see people on TikTok now selling stuff through TikTok shops.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I want to try that just for shits and giggles, because I just want to see like what the process is for a live stream sale, because I've never done a live stream sale before. So I'm sure there's like strategies to it, and you know, you getting your CTAs properly. But
it's like doing a webinar. It's like doing a webinar. That's all it is. It's like doing a webinar, but you're just doing it on.
Yeah, sort of. It is. It's almost like the most immediate form of a webinar, because people are like commenting immediately, and you're just like talking to them, and like they're buying on the spot. So yeah.
It's
Cool.
like the
Let
same.
me ask you this: why do you think most people? Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, it's like, you know, even with Netflix now, you know, they do all streaming, but now they're going live TV. They're adding the live part, because that's something you can't get with, you know, internet or any of these streamings. That live aspect. When you're live, you have to be there at that time. You can't wait for a time or wait later. You have to watch at that time. So it just makes people feel like, if I don't watch right now, I'm gonna miss out on it. That's that live feeling too. So I think live is going to get more and more.
There's going to be a fight with Tyson and what's his name? Tyson and oh man, I forgot his name. Jake Paul. Tyson and Jake Paul live on Netflix. That's going to be in June or July, whatever it's going to be. That's going to be insane, and that's literally done through Netflix. You can't watch it anywhere else but Netflix.
Is it?
So you're right.
That's streamed through Netflix?
I think it's streamed through Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what I read.
I always thought they would do like DAZN, you know, the boxing streaming site, but maybe Netflix came in with a bag and just said, "No, put it here."
I mean, if Tyson loses, I already know it's rigged. There's no way Tyson can lose. There's no way. That guy's an animal. I don't care how old he can be. 80 years old and knock someone out, I think.
I'm not jumping into this conversation. That conversation's too heated.
Yeah, that's another conversation. But he's almost 60 years old. No matter who you are, you get to that age. But he looked good in that training, though, man. But still, he's almost 60 years old.
I don't know, man. I don't think a young cat can knock out a guy like that. He's one of the greats. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We'll watch it on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not only social media, obviously. You actually started social media more recently. From what I've seen, but like you had a background before that in sales and sales training and building businesses and
so a little bit about my background. I started in the Diamond District in New York City. I was selling and buying jewelry in 47th Street. Hated it every single minute of my life. You look like one of those
guys, bro. You look.
I hated it, bro. I hated it. The reason why I hated it because there's no integrity in that industry. Everyone's lying to each other. Everyone's slapping scams. Everyone's lying. Like, it's just crazy. And I hated that. I'm an honest person. I like to serve my customers. Listen, I'm the kind of guy, I don't like to work hard forever. I want to work hard and smart. And the way to work hard and smart is to bust your ass, but also have referrals and relationships with people so that they can come back to you and do business with you again and again. But if a business owner you're doing business with screws over your customer, you're like, dude, are you kidding me? You just made $5,000 on him, but he's never going to come back to you again because he knows you ripped him off. And I used to get into a lot of fights with all the business owners there because I just hated it. Long story short, a friend of mine called me. He's like, yo, Mike, I got this opportunity for you to do sales. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing anything. Like, I was focused on network marketing at the time. He's like, just come to the interview. So I showed up to the interview with my sweatpants, my gym shirt. I was about to go to the gym. I was like, I'll just go to this interview. My first real interview of my life. I was like 22, 23 years old. It was for AT&T Digital Life, which was home security sales back then. And I show up to the interview. Somehow they hired me. I don't know how. And I started my sales journey, you know. The company fell apart a couple of months because the program got shut down. My friend was doing Time Warner Cable at the time, which is Spectrum. And he was making $50,000 a year. And I was like, this guy's making $50,000 a year. I'm like, if this lazy guy is making $50,000 a year, I want to rip this thing and make $100,000. That was my goal at that time, right? So I got involved with Time Warner Cable, did it for 11 months, got fired. And the next day, I'm working for Verizon Files. And that's when I started knocking on doors, right? Because with Time Warner Cable, I was setting up table events. And this is where my door-to-door career kind of opened up, you know? And my whole goal was to make over $100,000. That's what I wanted to do. And in door-to-door sales, it's 100% possible. You guys know that. We all know that. So my first 11 months, I made $139,000 selling TV and internet in 2015, 2016. And my eyes opened up. I was like, wow, there's a lot of money in this industry. You just got to go out there and hustle and grind. But I knew that in order for you to get to the higher levels of income, you cannot be dependent on 100% of your income. Because if you're focused on 100% of your income from just yourself, you're never going to become successful or rich. You have to spread your risk and leverage with teams, right? So I learned that if I'm going to build a team, there's no way I'm going to do it with this company because the company was not offering any overrides. It was just a small little company that was contracted with Verizon. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own thing. And that's when we started, this company in 2016. And 2016 to 2019, we grew the team to 150 people, and it was just chaos. Like we had like 7 locations. Everyone's making a lot of money. But then guess what happens in 2020? Slap, because you can't knock on doors. New York, New Jersey was where 6 of my locations were, and the other location was in Miami, right? And I just had to make a tough decision in 2020 to say, you know what? No more business in these Democratic states. No disrespect to anyone, but no more in these blue states because they don't allow you to do things that you need to do. And we just started to focus on 100% on Florida. And I started, my coaching career at that time, and one of my students was doing solar. And I was like, okay, solar, everyone's talking about it. I was like, whatever. Let me just kind of like look into it. And I got into solar in 2021 actually, right? And it was awesome. Solar is great. The only difference is I did it in the worst freaking city on the planet, Miami. We made a lot of money, but we also lost a lot of money. Well, taking it from 2 to 6 months to get installation and stuff. Listen, we did what we could. We did what we could. We made a lot of money, but in my opinion, it's like when listen, I learned a long time ago from very successful people. Why do you want to make money the hard way? Just find the easy way to make money. Like, why try to carry a bag of bricks to make money? There's a lot of ways to make money. Why not figure out different ways? So right now we kind of have solar a little bit. We're focused on water filtration. We have a government contract to give out the tablets and phones. So that's kind of like what we're focused on right now. But I wasn't the guy that was supposed to be here, so to say. Social media definitely helped me because a lot of my recruits came from social media. Right? I would post a lot of videos, and guys that would follow me for 2-3 years would say, "Hey, I've been following you for 2 years. I want to come work with you." Out of nowhere. And I don't have to convince them. They wanted to come work with me. And if you ask me, everyone asks me all the time, how much money do you make on social media? I have no idea. I can tell you this, indirectly, millions of dollars, indirectly. Directly, I have no idea. Check my Facebook account. They send me a couple $1,000 here and there, a couple $100, bullshit, right? But indirectly, the amount of money and relationships that I've built through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok, and all these platforms, you can't even count that, right? Because everything I have is because of the people that I've met through all these networks. So if anyone asks, should you be on social media? Yes, 100%. And just be consistent with it.
You say you should be on social media, and I agree with that. But the question for me is, I noticed that you're not specific in any industries. You're very general. You're like, almost anybody can get value out of your content. But there's pros and cons, obviously, right? When you go super general, then your audience is not really focused on what you're selling or what you're promoting. And obviously you're building relationships, you're getting a lot of stuff, but like, it's obviously worth it. But can you talk about that balance of your audience being actual consumers, actual just people who are going to consume your content?
Great point. So what I learned is one of my mentors told me, every dud knows a stud. And every stud knows a dud, right? So there's always value. You just got to kind of sift through it a little bit, right? So I did it the hard way. In the beginning, I was just focused on business content, things that I really just super niche down. The problem is that someone that's scrolling on your Instagram may not be interested in sales, may not be interested in business ownership, may not be interested in whatever you're talking about, whether it's leadership, whatever it may be. So what happens is they don't follow your content. It may be good content, it may be amazing, but it's just not for them at that time in their life. So when I started going a little bit broader and talking about more like, life stuff, right? And just focus on entertainment and education, that's when the channel blew up. That's when I started to get more notoriety. And the reason why was because I was focused on how do I add value to the average person? Because every average person knows an above average individual. And a lot of times the average person is like, you know what? I have a son. I want him to work for you. Right? Or you have an average person that says, you know what? I have an amazing guy who just finished college. He's 24 years old. He's super ambitious. I want him to come work with you. Right? So I kind of have I don't look at it as I want to get the superstar. The superstar has a bunch of B's and C's in his network as well. You just don't know that. Maybe it's his cousin, maybe it's his mom, maybe it's his dad, and you don't know. And a lot of times, especially nowadays, if someone has 50,000 followers versus someone that has, 5,000 followers, for whatever reason, I don't know why, they think that you're status because you have 50,000 followers. Right? That status, so to say, helps you out a little bit when you're trying to recruit someone, you're trying to do business with someone, or someone meets you in the field, or if you're trying to pick up chicks even. Girls look at that, and all of a sudden they get hooked on it. I don't know why. but it's just psychologically, you tend to listen and follow someone that has a little bit more status than you. So does it help? Absolutely. So my recommendation is this: go wide a little bit, and you can niche down to certain videos. Like most of my YouTube is a little bit niche down, right? My Instagram, I put interview content, which is the street content, which I love to do because I just love to interview people and see what people have to say. And the second part is the business content. So it's education and entertainment at the same time. Oh, Michael, it screws the algorithm because you don't want to put business and entertainment. Screw you. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. I enjoy this content. So because I enjoy it, there's others that enjoy it as well. And by default, people start following because of that.
It's not only about 100,000 followers. Real quick, Josh. It's not only about 100,000 followers or how many followers you're having. It's about engagement. And sometimes people they'll buy their followers, like literally buy 100,000, buy a million, buy 5,000.
Don't ever do that.
And then they wonder why their engagement it looks weird. You could tell, that doesn't look real. There's no way. And then it hurts them because now it's like, what else do I not talk about this person? Right? So what do you think about that?
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, they know when you buy bullshit. Okay? You cannot be buying followers. Like first of all, think of it this way. You bought a follower. Great. What is that person going to do? It's a fake account. It's a bot. It's never going to respond. So you have a bunch of dead accounts and your percentage gets screwed up.
They have ones with fake responses too, bro. Like they have fake bots.
Really? I don't even.
Fake comments, like emojis. That's amazing. And it's like a picture of them next to their daughter. It doesn't even make sense, It's crazy.
Listen, it doesn't make any sense to fake it and also what now people started doing is removing they're hiding their likes, like how many likes they get.
Yeah.
By the way, listen, the algorithm, listen to me, the algorithm it doesn't work 100% to your favor all the time. There's months and weeks where Instagram sucks and TikTok is amazing. Like right now, TikTok, trash. I don't know what was going on with TikTok. It's not just me complaining, right? I don't care though. I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for the likes. I'm doing it to be consistent. By being consistent, it's fresh information, fresh content for the followers, for the audiences that actually are watching, and it's okay. If you're consistent, if you take a droplet of water on a rock over a period of time, it's going to make a hole in the rock. You just got to be consistent. And don't worry about the algorithm, the this, the that. There's always going to be something that's going to make it trendy. Of course, follow the trends, do whatever you can, but stop chasing the wrong stuff. The reason to post on social media is to be disciplined to post. And because you're disciplined to post, a lot of the positives kick in. But a lot of people post for the followers. Oh, I wish all my followers see this. I don't give a crap. I'm posting every day. If you don't like my content, hop off. You love my content, hop on. It's okay, right? And that's the mentality. By default, you will find a lot of haters and you'll find a lot of lovers. And that's what you want. You want to have polarizing information. I tell my editor all the time, I don't care if I say something crazy. Post it. As long as it's not Hitler or sex, or because I got banned one time for 6 months. I couldn't do anything on TikTok. They suppressed me because I said the word Hitler. So don't ever say that word. If we're saying this word right now, do not. I swear to God.
Twice, bro.
No. You could say it. What the video was this. This was the video. I said, was Hitler a good leader? I was asking the guys in the office, was Hitler a good leader? I'm done. And what I said was, yes, he was a good leader. He just led people the wrong way. He was a bad person, but he was a good leader. And I'm like, oh my God.
Have you heard the point is, have you heard the new when they're using HeyGen to listen to Hitler translate what he's actually saying into English? And it sounds crazy in German, yeah, and in English, it's I've been leading you guys for years. You should keep listening to me. It doesn't sound so crazy when he actually translates to English. But go ahead, man.
But to be honest, he was a good leader, just a bad person. He just took the world in another place, right? He could have done so many great things, but he chose not to. So the point of this is this: do not buy followers, do not buy comments. Do not go to these fucking groups. You know what people tell you? Oh, pay us a fee to have some giveaways. You get a bunch of followers. That were oh my God, just post content. Just post. If people like your shit, they will follow your shit. If nobody follows your shit, it means your shit sucks. That's it. That's it. That's the gauge. How do you know if you're winning or not on social media? By followers, likes, comments, and shares and replies. If you don't get anyone saying it's amazing, if you don't get any hate, if you don't get any kind of engagement, your shit sucks. Nobody sees it. Nobody wants it.
That's what you got to take.
Because if people want it, they'll comment. That's it, and they'll share it. So that's your gauge to know what you're doing is right or wrong. But don't stop and get defeated all because you put 20 videos this past month and nobody responded. It's okay, Bubba. Go put 6 months to a year worth of work, and then come back to me. We'll talk and kind of say, okay, what do we need to change? But a lot of people put one video a week, one video a month, one story here, one day yes, one day no. They're tired. They're hungry. It's a bunch of bullshit.
What's going on, guys? Just a quick break before we get back into the pod to tell you a bit about what we got going on for you, some resources for you. So first things first, Virtual Solar Club, the home of all things remote solar sales, the largest community of remote solar sales professionals in the universe. We got training for you. We got support. We got networking, community, lead sources, software, installation, infrastructure. We're a big group of people that sell solar remotely around the world. If you want to transition or to start selling solar remotely, get software, get all the resources you need to do so, you can use code SOLARPULSE on registration to get a bunch of discounts for you. We're here for you. We're ready to support you. Let's sell some solar remotely. What do you say? Joe, you got anything for us?
Oh yeah, SolarCon is right around the corner, and this is going to be our third year, and we're looking at the most epic event ever, and it's going to be at the same place, same time, April 18th, 19th, and 20th in Salt Lake City at the Soul Palace Convention Center, and we're going to have Gary V headlining. We got Andy Elliott, Jeremy Miner, David Meltzer, and over 150 speakers and trainers training all aspects of the solar industry. And then the highlight of the event every year is our expo floor, where we're going to have the piano player to the presidents, lounges, activities, bars, and the best conversations you've ever had at a conference is with the feedback we get from everybody. So if you guys haven't signed up yet, get your tickets now. We have an extra discount for you guys, an extra 10% on top of the website has. Just go to attendsolarcon.com/virtual solar. Again, that's attendsolarcon.com/virtual solar, and you will get the biggest discount anybody has to offer. So if you guys don't know, now you know. Let's get back to the podcast.
I had a friend who she's running a brand, and she wanted, this is back when like social media influencer, you'd pay them to post and stuff when that was pumping, and she had to find a way to separate the people that had just bought followers and people that actually had engagement. So she created an algorithm that compared their total followers versus ratio of likes and comments, and it would spit out a number. And what she found was that the number of followers, for someone that had 5 million versus someone that had 10,000, you'd find these, what they were called micro influencers back then, their engagement was so much better because their value was actually to their audience and people were engaging with them. Speaking about engagement, though, I was looking at your Instagram. You've got some big play. You've somehow found Steve Will Do It. You found Ben Mala on the street interviews. You're walking around and you find these guys? Like, how you find those guys?
I go to my corner like a prostitute. That's my corner. And that's my spot. And somehow people just walk by. You know what it is? I just attract that into my life. I've met some crazy people. You're going to see another video with some of the other famous guys you probably see on the internet. I forgot his name. I think it's you've seen him with Andrew Tate and stuff. You'll see the video in the next couple of weeks. But I just bump into these people. Like, I just see them, and if I see them, I'm like, hey, come here. Like, I don't even ask them. I just interview them, right? And this guy, Ben, it was hilarious. The way he just came to the camera, he's just a wild man. I was like, perfect.
Ben is wild, man. That guy is absolutely wild. Steve is always, he seems like such a nice guy. He's always open to just chat. And like,
he lives across the street from me, yeah. A lot of these guys live across the street also. Like, I live 2 blocks away from the SLS buildings. That's where a lot of them go to stay sometimes when they come down to Miami. So this is like a pretty popular area in Brickell, and a lot of people come here. So you'll meet all kinds of people. I mean, I've interviewed a porn star before. I had no idea, but I guess people said that she's a porn star. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, I've interviewed some crazy people, but my goal, I don't really choose. Like, if I just see someone, if I see like good energy, you're coming into my interview. You know what I mean? That's the mindset. Because my whole thing is this: how do I create polarizing content that's going to add value to people? Because people are sitting there finger fucking their phone on Instagram or TikTok, and they just want to be entertained. That's the interview side. But on the business side, they want to be educated. They want to learn something. So if you can teach them something and make them laugh and kind of have a good time, you just win. You win ball games.
Yeah, you did both with Steve. Like, obviously, everyone knows Steve Will Do It, but then you asked him some business questions. So there's a hybrid model there. And it's interesting to it's almost like those videos. I like watching those interviews of people that are 100 years old and they say, like, what would you do different? They generally always give the same answer. And so when you find someone that's been relatively successful and you ask them, there's generally also patterns. So I'm sure you as the interviewer also learn shit because you're like, oh, the last 10 guys that like millionaires that I've interviewed, billionaires, they've all relatively said the same thing. Maybe I should fucking pay attention to what they're saying.
Lately, what I've been doing, because I'm single, I want to be in a relationship and get married, have a family. I've been asking a lot of couples like relationship questions, right? Like I see people like married for 25 years or 30 years. I'm like, okay, well, how did you guys do it? Like, what is the
Right.
secret? And a lot of times it's a common denominator, right? There's a lot of things they say that are very like, oh, okay, interested. You pick up on that stuff a lot. So I usually like to ask questions that I'm curious about, and by being curious and start digging a little bit, you get people to open up a little bit. Some amazing answers, and some of them blow up, some of them don't, and it's okay. But a lot of them, in my opinion, I mean, I enjoy doing it because I learn some stuff as well. Just like the teacher learns more than the student sometimes, right? Because when you're
Yeah.
teaching, you're programming your brain a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, my learning of sales and business it really started to explode as soon as I started teaching large groups of people the same concept over and over again. Because then your brain, after saying it so many times, you're like, wait, maybe I should tweak it like this, and then you actually start thinking about that concept that you were trained on that maybe worked for you in the past substantially, but then you just keep saying it over and over again and thinking about it and how to convey it and the psychology of it, and you're like, wait, there's a better version of this. And eventually it just starts building and building. What I was teaching guys 3-4 years ago is not what I'm teaching now. It's the same concept, but it's just expanded and evolved.
Because you became better. You became more of a master. You've learned a lot of techniques. You become better. And that's the beautiful thing about being a teacher, because you're always improving your skill set as you're teaching and teaching and teaching. Sometimes the students can teach you some stuff too. I've learned a lot of stuff from my students, my sales guys. So, the process of learning never stops. Second you stop learning is the second you're dead, my friend.
Yeah, it's a scary moment when you can tell yourself, you know what? No, I'm good. I've got it all. That is a scary moment because you are tricking yourself so hard.
One of my mentors, one of my friends I was with, it was asking my mentors, like, you keep telling us to read these books, but the books are the same. They're all the same. And I was like, they're not the same. Like, these books are all different, right? And the mentor said to both of us, he's like, listen, you're growing, you're not. Because the second a person thinks that every single book is the same, when you start seeing the same thing out of every single book, that's when you know you're dying mentally. You know when you're growing, when you're like, oh my God, this new sentence from this book, and maybe a different book, maybe the same freaking book, but you can always learn something new, because if you're changing, you're always a different person. You can get a different perspective from that book. So I took it.
It's like watching a movie or a TV series over. For example,
100%.
The Office, my favorite TV. I've watched every episode like 10, 11, 12 times. Every single time I watch a season, I'm like, oh, I didn't catch that last time, or that little comment over here, I know what that means now. It's like it never really stops. You can do the same thing.
Because you're a different human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're a different human being. When you're a different human being, you see different things.
And I know you said earlier that all you need is your cell phone and you can just start making content today. Well, that's not what you're doing today, bro. So can you kind of give some advice of like, yeah, you can start at zero, but how about that time frame of getting to what it costs now? And you don't have to tell us what it costs, but like, I
don't mind telling you guys, it's very simple. It's very simple. The simplest way, I get DM'd probably anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day with someone from another country that says, Michael, can I edit your videos? There's 1,000 of these people in other countries that would probably do it for $5, $10 a video. So don't tell me you have no money. I don't use an international person. I use an American person because I need them to understand the language. I need them to understand, the jokes sometimes and some of the, things that they probably won't understand in other countries. But you can start off with someone in another country, India, Pakistan, Morocco, whatever, $5 to $10, and they'll edit your videos, right? So don't tell me you have no money. That's one thing. 2, you have a cell phone. Right? And a lot of stuff, to be honest with you, there's a lot of AI tools that can help you out as well. What I have is I have 3 people working with me. I have my videographer who actually videos me, right? I have the editor that edits all the videos. And then I have a social media guy that goes into every single platform and posts every single day and also replies to all the comments. Sorry, guys, it's not me when it's the comments. 99% of the time, it's not me. Once in a blue moon, I come in there and start helping out a little bit, right? But for the DMs are me right now. Right? The DMs are me. But one day when I have 1,000 DMs, I'm not going to have time to sit there and answer every DM. But for the most part, right, all the comments are responded to. If you look at some of my most craziest videos, you have every single comment, I have my team reply to it. Why? Because I understand the psychology of another human being saying, oh my God, Michael replied to my comment. Holy shit. He didn't have to, but he did. And that makes it feel amazing. And then they may share it. Now they feel connected to you somehow because you replied to their comment. How many times you replied to like Grant Cardone or all these different people and they replied to you? You know it's not them, but it's still in your heart like, yes, Grant Cardone replied to me, as an example, right? So it just makes people feel good. And by replying to them, you add value to them and saying, thank you for supporting me. Here's the reply. And it makes people feel extremely valuable. So in my opinion, do you have to do all this? No. You can start off with yourself. In the beginning, it was just me with my phone. Then it was me and a videographer and an editor. Paid a couple $100 a week. Says, hey, a couple hours a week, I need you to do this for me. Then it became, listen, I need a videographer and an editor separate because I cannot have them do two things at once. Then I was like, dude, I can't reply to every comment and I can't sit there and post twice a day. Let me have someone else do it. So it's a progression thing, right? And you don't have to start off all crazy because I see some people, they get a whole studio, $30,000, they make one video. I'm like, dude, don't spend $30,000 on that shit. Be consistent with yourself. The reason why I say start off with your phone is because you need to get into the habit of creating content. And I have people sometimes say, Michael, well, what do you talk about? I don't know what to talk about. There's a lot of shit you could talk about. Get good at something really well and start talking about it. And if you don't know how to talk about stuff, it's okay. Ask questions. You could do interviews. You can do podcasts. You don't have to be the one that knows the information. You can find others that have the information for you. Or you could do reviews on stuff. There's a lot of people on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube that do nothing but regurgitate content. They literally regurgitate. They watch a video and give you a review on that video. Or they watch a product and they give you a review of the product. So you don't have to be a genius to create content. You just got to think about, how do I add value to other people? What channel do I want to take? Do I want to be the star? Do I want to be, interviewing stars, reviewing stars or products? Like, what avenue do you want to go into? And figure out what you're good at and then fucking hammer it in and be consistent and persistent with that content.
How about you, bro? What do you like the best? What is your favorite? I know obviously interviews are the bomb, but not just social media. What do you like training the best? What do you like working in? What do you feel like you're passionate about most in the sales world? I know it's solar and
in the sales world,
talk about filtration and different things, but what's your passion?
What I like to talk about is leadership development, right? Because I remember when I was 19 years old, I was lost in the sauce. I was confused. I had no idea what direction I wanted to go in life. And I had a mentor that took me under his wing. So at 19, when that mentor put me under his wing and I got involved in network marketing, my whole life changed because I was like, wow, there's another side to this world. Because my background, just to give you a little bit of understanding, when I was a kid, from 0 to 19, my childhood was a nightmare. I went through 8 schools, got kicked out of 8 schools out of 9. My parents were, the domestic violence was crazy in my house. I was mentally abused, physically abused, emotionally abused. The only abuse I didn't have was sexual abuse, thank God. But every kind of abuse you could think of, that's the kind of life I went through, right? I went to foster care because of that. So my life was chaotic from 0 to 19. So I didn't have dreams and goals. I had a lot of nightmares I was running away from. And when I met a mentor at 19 who said the word dream, right? I was like, what is a dream? Like, is that what you sleep and think about? He's like, dream is what you want in the future. I'm like, holy shit. I don't know what my dreams are. I had no idea. I knew, but he's like, okay, so think about what you don't want. I'm like, well, I know I don't want this. I don't want to sleep in my car. I don't want to be busted broke. I don't want to be hungry. Like, those are the things I do not want. So I use my nightmares as my fuel to then eventually start thinking about dreams and goals. So my life changed when I was 19, and everything changed. Everything changed. And sales to me is awesome. I love sales, but I love leadership development, because the reason why I am who I am today is because someone took the time to develop me. Someone took the time to mentor me. Someone took the time to coach me and help me become a better me. And it was a me versus me battle every single day from 19 till today, right? And because the mentor took a lot of time to help me, I started to fall in love with leadership development. Like John Maxwell stuff. I read all his books on leadership, because that guy, like, that was my ghost mentor, so to say, because I needed to learn how to be a great leader, how to be a great mentor. I didn't have any examples, right? My father wasn't a great example. I love him to death, but he wasn't that guy. So I said, I'm going to be that guy for all the young guys in my company, so they don't have to look at their cousins, uncles, brothers. They can look up to me, and I can help them become leaders. So to me, what I'm really passionate about is developing other people and developing leaders. That's really what I'm passionate about, and that's what I've been doing for the past decade. So sales is a byproduct. I tell my guys all the time, we are a leadership development company. We sell anything under the sun that sells at the time. We'll sell solar. We'll sell water filtration. We'll sell roof. If tomorrow roofs are going to be popping, guess what we're going to be selling? Roofs. I don't give a shit. I don't care about the product. The platform is a leadership development company. We develop you guys to be better leaders. By default, you become great sales guys. And by being great sales guys, you put a lot of freaking money in your bank account. So that's kind of like my mindset, what I'm excited about.
Hell yeah. I love that, baby. I'm letting Josh go. I feel like I'm taking too many questions.
I had something I was going to fall back on. I'm one of the first things that was said. It's gone. It's gone. He's given me so many nuggets, and I'm trying to write them down because I have stories to tell, but then I forget some of them because he talks so quick. Like, come on, Michael.
My bad, bro. I'm from New York City, bro. I apologize.
I can tell. I
Me
can
too,
tell
bro.
you sold a few diamonds before.
We were born like probably miles apart, bro.
Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch the movie Uncut Gems?
Of
Yeah, hell
course.
yeah.
That is literally 47th Street, like 100% to the T. Like that feeling you get, that's literally 47th Street. It's crazy.
There's a bunch of guys on TikTok that I'm pretty sure just walk around 47th Street and posting what they do. It seems sketchy. I don't know.
Some yes, some
yeah.
no. You know what I mean? It's like crazy.
Okay.
Listen, I did everything ethical and moral. You'll never have anyone say Michael took any money. Like that wasn't my thing, which is why I didn't make as much money as some of these guys, because I did not want to do things the wrong way, which is why I left the industry, right? I did not want to be part of. They used to swap diamonds and line of customers and bank. I can't do that. I want to help people. I want to serve people. If I cannot serve people, if I cannot help people, I am out. Like in the solar industry, there's a lot of schmucks out there that are destroying territories and hurting a lot of people. A lot. And you just saw it recently. You know, you have Sonova getting sued right now. You got Mosaic, all these banks because of hidden dealer fees. It's like, dude, the industry is getting spit on because of morons. If people did things the right way, you don't have to make $10,000 on a deal. You can make 3, 4, 5 grand. That's okay. But 10,000, 15,000, like, who are you? And this is what I get from the sales guys. Oh, I'm the sales guy. You would have never had that customer without me. Like, you moron. You don't deserve 15 grand. No disrespect. 5 grand, 6 grand. Okay, you got to get paid. But I think some of these guys are putting a $20,000 loan, making 15 grand. 7 panels on the roof, 15 grand. That's fucked up. You know what I mean?
No, that's what?
Yeah.
I hope not, man. That's insane.
No, that's how it used to be back in the day when people were slinging 2 kilowatt systems for 50 grand. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's getting better. But I don't think it's getting better fast enough. So in solar, I think we are going to get hit with some like heavy regulations, which, you know, the bad players always do try to find a way to work around. But it's going to be interesting.
I can't wait for regulations.
To see what those regulations are.
Regulations will be amazing. I will love that, because if regulations are there, all the good guys are like, perfect. All the bad guys are out, and they'll go to another industry. They'll go to, I don't know, maybe mortgages or some other shit. But, you know, right now it's just the Wild West, and, you know, you go to certain areas of Tampa, Orlando, like, people will not open. You say the word solar, they want to kill you. Yeah. They want to kill you. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always said we're right now we're in the phase of the market that I call solar is a scam. And that's because whenever you have a product that's pushed down your throat constantly, door knockers, cold callers, ads by shitty sales guys, they attach the name and the concept of the product to a negative feeling, even though the product itself could change their life completely. But they can't overcome the feeling of it's a weird sales guy trying to sell me something. Push his agenda. And I heard a story about someone getting scammed with this product, so I just think it's bad all around. Eventually, what happens is, and we're starting to see in other places, the problem that the product can actually solve when done proper gets so bad, the utility rates increase so much that they're forced to take a look at it. And that's when the market starts going absolutely wild. I think we're at the beginning of that. But I think certainly in many places in the States, we're still in the solar is a scam phase because of just bad salespeople. I always say, if sales guys weren't as bad, if every sales guy actually knew how to properly do things properly and not screw the customer over, but also just communicate the concept of solar properly, you would snap your fingers and 50% of homeowners would have solar right now. But because 100%. Sales guys are so bad, they're getting in the way of homeowners actually getting the benefits of it. That's the state of the industry right now. It's wild, which is great because I don't care. Some customers speak to 4 or 5 shitty sales guys and I properly explain it and they go, oh, no one's ever explained it to me like this before. And I'm like, well, this is how it works. How did they explain it to you? Oh, they gave me all this stuff. No, that's a stupid salespeople. So it makes our jobs a lot easier when you actually know what you're doing. But you do have to battle it sometimes for sure.
Correct. The beginning part is the tough part. Once you get the chance to sit down and have them to listen, that's when you can win them over.
Of course.
But even after install,
and I think that's
even after install, a lot of reps like think they're done. All right, I'm good. I'm going to the next one. But like all you have to do is communicate with the homeowner, and for a vast majority of the time, they'll be happy. Just communicate with them. But a lot of the time, they just want to hang up, not answer, and just like put it under the rug. And all of a sudden, there's a huge problem. That's probably why. Just communicate with the homeowner. But, you know, speaking of communicate with the homeowner, have you like seen homeowners hitting you up? Are actual customers, you know, hitting you up through Instagram and saying, I want to get solar, I want to get water filtration? Is there any homeowner facing content, or is it just...
So That's a good question. So, I mean, I had here and there once in a blue moon, but nobody really knows that I sell solar or I sell water filtration. Like, they don't know that, right? Because I'm not posting that on a daily
I know it.
basis. I always,
know it.
well, you know it, right? Because you probably seen it, right? Maybe here and there. If you watch my stories, sometimes you see sales guys, but nobody really knows what I do. Not because I'm not trying to keep it like a secret.
Gotcha.
It's just that I keep my page as a channel to just come. My job is to inspire you, motivate you. Come into my fish tank. Don't worry, come into my fish tank. Once you're in my fish tank, I'll feed you every day a little bit of food. Eventually be like, where is this food coming from? How does he know this shit? So I look at it this way. My goal on social media is to do two things: inspire the world and build massive amounts of relationships. Whether they're gonna come work for me to be recruited, or invest in some of the real estate that I invest in, right? So like right now we're looking at an 82 apartment unit. We're actually closing in about 30 days. It's 82 units in South Carolina. Do you know how many people I've met through social media that want to invest? The fund is we're already full. We're already overbooked on that. But how many people like, oh, Mike, on the next deal, next deal, next deal? Half of them I met on social media. Because all I've been doing for the past years, adding value, 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 asking for nothing in return. And because I was just adding value, all of a sudden I posted a video of me touring a property. Thousands of people just, oh my God, I want to see what you're doing, right? So it's just, I learned this a long time ago from Gary Vee. It's called jab, 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 right hook. Give, and then you can ask for something, right? So I just give. And when I need to say, hey, hiring for sales guys, they start flowing through, right? And I've made, like I said, I've made tons of money just by saying recruiting or hiring or this or that. So it's just being proactive. And I don't like to bang my followers with sell. They get tired of that. I like to just give. And when I need them for something, I need to sell them a product or a service or whatever, they just flow through. So that's kind of like how I like to do it, because I'm not the kind of, like, I'm already an aggressive guy. Like, I already can shove a product down your throat. I don't want to keep doing it through social media, you know? Like, it just, my personality is very aggressive as it is. I don't want to, scare people off.
I also think your end customer is a bit different, because you're building a platform for sales guys and leadership. But so this might not apply to you as much. However, I speak to a lot of guys that are creating content. There's, for example, they're selling solar, but they're also creating content to recruit for their solar sales team. And that's their one thing. They're not generalized, right? And what I'm trying to challenge everybody on right now is that they're not taking the further step, which is creating content for example, homeowners for solar. And they see the content game that works for recruitment, for team building, but they don't see the content game and they don't apply it to potentially it working for homeowners. I believe this is one of like Josh's 2024 prediction. I come up with weird, crazy predictions. Give it 2 or 3 years. Sales reps, solar companies, we'll use any industry, but let's use solar for example. A solar company will not be hiring sales reps, because what are they hiring sales reps for? Lead sales. They'll be hiring solar influencers. They'll be paying them like a Joe Rogan deal, maybe not hundreds of millions of dollars, but they'll pay a dude who has built so much content for homeowners on, just tips to save on their energy bill or tips to make their home more efficient or why their bills are going up, who's just, built content for that, has an audience of 10, 20,000 homeowners, not a crazy amount. But they will pay them a $50,000 sign-up bonus just to run their deals through their EPC. That's going to be the future of lead generation, and that's what companies are going to look for. So across all platforms. So I think it's really important for sales guys right now that aren't generalized, that are like solar guys and like they're building content for the recruitment team, to start thinking that way. Because I always like to do this. If I could snap my finger and have the ultimate example of this, how cool would it be? Imagine this. Snap your fingers. You have an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook account, whatever, with 1 million followers that are all homeowners in the United States that are following you because you're giving them tips on how to drop their energy bill. And then one day you say, hey, by the way, guys, I also do solar, fill in this form. These guys have been following you for 6 months, 12 months. They already value, they already trust you. You make $10 million in one day from commissions. Like what
I would do,
that's insane.
What I would do, if you're a solar guy or you're a roofing guy or you're a water guy, whatever kind of guy you are, you want to build a long-term sales funnel, right, through social media, this is what I would do. I would take out my phone and talk about, build out 100 different topics and content pieces of what you could talk about, what would be interesting for a homeowner. What do homeowners care about? Fixing their AC, fixing a light bulb, fixing this, fixing that, changing the landscape. What kind of flowers can I put in my front yard? What kind of this? What should I do for this? What should I do? What kind of blind should I put? And just put a bunch of fucking content out there and talk to the homeowners. You got to know who you're talking to, right? I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the 18 to 27-year-old. That's who I'm talking. That's my audience. 18 to 27-year-old, that young guy, not a female. I'm not focused on the females. They're amazing. But I'm looking for that young guy from 18 to 27. Why is that? Because that's the guy that's going to do business with me, and that's the guy that's going to make a lot of money. That's the guy who's probably going to invest with me. Right? The 40, 50, 60-year-olds, that's great. They're not on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're on LinkedIn. They're somewhere else. But on Instagram and TikTok, I know exactly what I'm looking for. So those are the guys that are, some of them are 17, 18, but then guess what? They turn 19, 20. Hey, Michael, I want to come work with you. Great. And that's the mindset. So you got to know who you're targeting. So if you're targeting homeowners, don't just go for solar. Widen that grip a little bit. Talk about gardening. I don't give a shit. Just talk to the homeowners about something amazing where they feel like you're giving them value. And then once a month or once every 2 weeks, hey, if you're thinking about lowering your bill, I got this amazing opportunity. That's a great mindset. And I think people should do that. You know, if you're a sales guy, you don't have to do it on your personal page. You can if you want to. I did everything on my personal page, but you could create a separate page that's just specific for that. But don't make it specific for solar because nobody gives a shit about solar. I see a lot of people posting like a picture of solar panels, a video of the solar panels installed. Nobody gives a fuck, sorry for my language, about solar panels. Give them value.
Exactly.
Show them how to. Listen, you know what's crazy? I cannot, like, this picture, if this shit falls, I have no idea how to put it back up. If you made a video how to put a nail in the freaking wall, I would watch that for 30 seconds. Oh shit, thanks for that tip. Or instead, how to make it even, use this ruler or some bullshit. I don't know. But that kind of value, be like, oh, I want to watch this guy. And there's a bunch of do-it-yourself videos or a bunch of add value videos and you're just talking about stuff, I would follow you. And then guess what? 6 months later, I need solar panels. Like, you know what? This guy's been helping me so much. You have a solar offer. Let me see what I can get with lowering my energy bill. So you got to think like that. You got to think about how do I add value before you start asking for a lot. A lot of people are asking so much. I want to sell solar. Add value.
Yeah,
Go add value for 6 months.
Yeah, you hit on one of the most important pieces of solar sales or any sales is that no one gives a rat's ass about the product or the details. They care about the problem that it's going to solve. And so I see people creating solar content, but it's fucking pictures of solar and they're going details of solar. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I always try to challenge guys on. So in my community, I'm really pushing people to do this. And I'm like, don't mention solar. Don't mention you're a solar sales rep, at least for the first 6 to 12 months. Don't even have a call to action. Just literally post videos on, here's 5 tips to lower your power bill. Oh, so your thermostat here, and just go, what is the problem they're facing? And then maybe, and I don't actually think solar sales is the way to do it anymore. I think it's full home energy efficiency that just happens to include solar. But I mean, if people are hyper focused on the product itself and then create content around that or do a cold call about that or do a door knock about that, it's all the same shit. They're not going to get as much results. But if you're focusing on the problem that you have, right? Your fucking picture went down and I need to solve that problem. You don't care about the hammer, how it's carbon fiber and I don't give a shit. How do I solve my problem? And that when you have that idea in your content creation, you also gave like that strategy of come up with 100 videos, 100 ideas, and just grab your phone and start talking. That's exactly what I'm telling people. Yeah, it is difficult to do it. So one day when you're feeling motivated, just get on your notes app, just start, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 this. And then the next day when you feel motivated, just start boshing them out, every single one. And now you got a few weeks worth of content, you schedule them all. It doesn't have to be that difficult to do.
Listen, 100 videos is doable. Just go build out 100 pieces of content. Like, okay, how to do this, why to do this, when to do this, how to, when, where, what. Oh, you have ChatGPT now. I forgot about that bullshit. Yeah. Well, create 100 pieces of content for homeowners. You know what you can also do? Listen, why don't you, whoever's watching this, right? Go knock on 1,000 fucking doors and go interview homeowners and ask them questions. Why did you buy this house? What do you love about being a homeowner? What do you hate about being a homeowner? Oh, my electric bill is so high. Really? How did they get so high? Oh, the utility bill. Really? Have you ever had any other options outside of that? No, I never thought about that. Well, let me ask you this. If there were other options, would you be open to that? Yes, I would. Awesome. This is a piece of content right there. And then you can say in the comments, drop down some, I don't know. I'm just throwing crazy ideas right now. But go talk to some homeowners. Go to a gardening event where you see a bunch of these ladies that are just planting tulips all day. Great. Ask them, how long were you planting tulips in front of your house? Since 1978. Great. What do you love about gardening? It's peaceful. Awesome. How does someone start in gardening? And you just start some kind of, you're adding value to other people that are homeowners that are watching. And you'll get some kids that watch it too, whatever. But a majority of people will be what? You're attacking homeowners. And now you have 10,000 followers, 50,000 followers of homeowners watching your stuff. All of a sudden you say, hey guys, anybody who has an electric bill over $100, click on the poll. Whoever hits on the poll, you DM them all. Boom, 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 boom. If I can lower that bill, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? It's just so many ways to do it. You just got to put in the work. Everyone wants the easy way out. You got to put in that work. And by the way, this doesn't mean you stay home and do nothing. This is with cold calling. This is with door knocking. This is an extra avenue because it takes time to build. It's like SEO, right? You could do ads. You could do SEO. SEO takes 3 to 6 months or 12 months to build out. You got to sit there and wait, right? So you're not going to sit there and wait. You still create ads. You attack. You do what you need to do. So you got to do both. It's like this.
Yep.
Am I getting it right on the thing?
That's a good analogy there. How like SEO is the equivalent of ads. I say the same thing about cold calling and door knocking, right? You got two options. Number one, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, don't give the marketing agency $50,000 and run ads. Cold call, door knock, figure your shit out first. SEO, I've never even thought of that. That's also an equivalent. It's a free way to start it out, but you're not going to get results day one, son. You got to fucking work your ass off. Content creation, which what excites me about this is, you know, for example, we might have like regulations that start hurting cold calling and all that, but content creation is also free, if not more free than cold calling, because you don't have to get data and dialer and stuff, even though cold calling's cheap as shit already. So now you even have another model of getting business completely free that is just pure fucking elbow grease. And one of the biggest questions that we get when, you know, we talk about like remote sales in solar is, oh, but where do you get your leads? You have to spend all this money. I'm like, dude, you have so many options of free leads out there. It's just time. But the second they know it's time, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to have to put work in."
You know what it is? People. I get interviews with people all the time. Oh, I don't want to prospect. The money. Let me ask you guys a question. What would you rather? Who's more beneficial to you? If you're a business owner, who's more beneficial to you, the prospector or the closer?
Prospector.
In my opinion, the appointment setter.
The prospector to me is worth millions of dollars because he's willing to work and fucking find leads. Yes. Closers, I can find 1 million closers out there. Right? Prospectors where the money's at. So the prospector you should be feeding him a lot, in my opinion, right? So most people want to run away from prospecting where prospecting pays you the big bucks. Nobody wants to find leads. Think about it this way. I have a friend of mine he does merchant cash advance, right? He gets his leads from LendingTree. LendingTree charges these people so much money for a freaking lead from a name and a number. Because LendingTree's doing it's 100% shared.
20 different people.
20 different people, 100%. So you're banging it out. Everyone's banging them. Everyone's calling that business owner, right? But if you think about that, LendingTree is making a ton of money. Why? Because they're prospecting. You don't want to prospect? No problem. We'll charge you a hefty fee for that. Prospect is where the money's at. And if you're able to prospect, you will never be hungry. Like if you go, if I go to zero today, nothing. I got no money. I got a cell phone and $100, right? Cell phone and $100. I always keep $100 with me, always, right? $100. Cell phone and $100. I'm lost in the sauce. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a fucking gym. I just made a video about that. I'm going to a gym to network with some people and say, hey, can I sell some shit? I want to sell some shit. And I'm going to start prospecting. That's what I'm going to do. First thing I do. I'm not thinking about where I'm going to sleep today. I'll forget about all that. I need to go make money. Because when I can go make money, now I can think about sleeping and eating all that shit, right? And that's the mindset. Prospect is where it's at. And a lot of people are afraid to prospect. And social media, it's the same concept. You're prospecting. What you're doing is instead of knocking on a door or banging a phone call, you're banging the red button on your phone. What's up, gang? And that's what it is. It's about doing the dirty work that nobody wants to do. Get it out. Like you said, elbow greasing.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, there you go. A wise man once told me, an OG from the solar industry in Australia, he said, Josh, a solar company is simply an appointment setting company that happens to sell solar. That's it. If you don't have the appointments, the prospecting, then you're done. Leads rule 100%. The game. And yeah, you're absolutely fucking right. No one wants leads anymore. What do they want? Now they're saying they want appointments. They want to go even further. And now the AI stuff is coming out and saying, we'll do everything for you. And they capture them with like the bullshit part. We'll do everything for you. We'll even close the deals. Just spend. It's wild how lazy people are. They don't want to do any of it. But if you have control over that process, you have lead sources, you have a kick-ass a cold calling strategy, your door knocking strategy, your inbounds, or content creation, you own the fucking game, which is why I'll go back to that guy who has 10, 20,000 homeowner followers that have just been following him for random tips for 6 months, 12 months. That guy, in a few years, that guy holds the power over the entire fucking industry because he has prospected, put the work in, and now he has thousands of customers that trust him, and he can just snap his fingers and tell them to go to one company or the other. That's why it's so exciting for every industry, not just solar.
100%.
This is
100%.
This is a Michael Barayev with Nova Energy, and he's dropping some value for us this whole time, man. I really appreciate all the nuggets, and I love that you brought up giving value and jab, 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 right hook, Mr. Gary V. And that's actually a personal story for me too. At the same time, when COVID hit and we all had to go virtual, right? There was no more in-home closing. I was done. I had the whole year booked in 2020. Restaurant to restaurant, homeowners full, just like 20 to 30 deals every week. It's just like insane, right? And then it went to zero. So I went from here to zero. I had nothing. So I had to start going virtual and, and social media and learning how to actually use it. Started my Facebook group, and it was based on what Gary V taught, which is like, don't worry about what you're getting at this second. Just give value, entertain, help. And stuff will happen. And if you don't, especially when you don't expect anything to happen, things happen eventually, right? And so that's like now having Gary V come to an event that I started and he's going to headline it is like coming full circle. And I was like, to me, is mind blowing and insane. And I feel like so proud that even happened. But like for you too, right? Like, look at you. You're coming full circle now, and you're growing, and it's based on what Gary V. So you're going to be at SolarCon speaking on the social media stage too. What are you going to be speaking about? I know we talked about it a little earlier, but what are you excited to let the audience know about what you're doing, man?
Give me a topic and we'll make it happen. But they got to buy their ticket first. If they haven't bought their ticket, they're not going to know what we're going to talk about. So what I need you guys to do right now is buy that ticket. Whatever it is, buy one, buy two, buy five, whatever you need to do to get to that event. Listen, I went to that first SolarCon. It was amazing. I remember there was this guy that was on the stage. What did he say? I forgot his name, but he was like, who wants these 6 tickets? So me and my buddy, we just jumped over the TV. I grabbed like 3 tickets, right? So we had 3 tickets out of the 6. And he's like, why didn't anyone else jump and get the tickets? He's like, who wants the tickets, right? And it's an important lesson. When you hear about who wants the tickets, stop thinking about it and all this shit. Don't procrastinate. Buy the fucking ticket. Pause this video, go buy the ticket right now and show up to SolarCon if you're in solar. If you're selling roofs, maybe you should go there and network with someone that does solar.
100%.
Right? You can swap. Oh, I don't do solar. Great. You should find someone that does solar. Maybe you sell roofs. You can swap customers, whatever it may be. Learn a little bit, right? Maybe you can add solar to your belt. So stop creating excuses and go buy that ticket.
And if you're watching this video, you already know you got a discount code that's the biggest and baddest discount code for the entire fucking event. So there is literally no excuse. It's in the description, or we've already run the ad. It's literally right there. Go and get it. I'll see you there. We'll be on the stage. We got the booth. We'll be talking. I think we're doing a MacBook giveaway. Other people are giving away crazy shit. It is the event for solar for the year. If you're in solar right now, sales guys, equipment, installers, whatever it is, the only event you really need to go to, in my opinion, I've been to all of them. Some of them are okay. SolarCons is just different. The levels are different, man. So if you're not going to this event, but you want to succeed in solar this year, good luck. I mean, networking. I got all my finance contracts in Australia by going to events and talking to the CEOs and getting them a beer. This is the place to get contacts and line yourself up with. So we guys see you there. See you guys there.
Hell yeah. So Mike, man, what's next for you, bro? I'm gonna let you go. What's next in for you 2024, bro?
In terms of what, like life or business?
Yeah, business, life. What you got going on, man?
My goal right now
look like.
Yeah, so the vision is very simple. Right now, I'm building out the water filtration team, building out the team that's selling out there right now for water filtration. It's a new product we just put onto our belt. I might get into roofing. One of my friends wants to expand. He has a big team in Minnesota. He wants to do roofing in Miami. So we'll see how that goes. I'm focused on real estate investing for the past, I would say 5-6 years. I've been studying real estate and just studying. And then recently, for the past year or two, I've been looking at a lot of deals. And there's been a lot of deals that I said no to because it just wasn't the deals, just people are crazy, right? People were just asking for crazy numbers, crazy cap rates, all that stuff. So we just finally found a good deal, me and a couple of my guys. So, I'm really excited about getting 1,000 units under my belt. So my goal is to just go into real estate investing. And personally, I want to get married. I want to have a family. I know you have a family and kids, and I don't know about you, Josh. I don't know if you have a family and kids yet, but I'm 32 years old, and I want to start, planting that oak tree into the future legacy, right? So, making all this money means nothing at the end of the day if you can't share it with the people you love and care about, So for me, those are like the 2 biggest things for me. I want to focus on business and focus on my family life. That's kind of like what I'm focused on right now.
Well, man, you have a bright future ahead of you, bro. If anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you, man?
Social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, Michael_Barayev. Last name is Barayev. And you can DM me. I will always respond. There's not one DM I do not respond to unless you say some crazy shit. But for the most part, I respond to you. Listen, if you're trying to sell me editing, I will not respond to you. Don't not try to sell me editing. I get like 5 of them a day. It's crazy. Literally 5, 6 a day almost. But we appreciate you. You get them as well? So it's not just me. Yes, it's not just me. But Josh, Joe, you guys are amazing. God bless you guys. And the audience, you guys are amazing. Thank you for listening to us, and we appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Later.
Awesome.
Peace.
Take it easy, boys. Have a good one.
Later.